this is one of my favorite places to be, and that is sharing with fellow breathworkers. Because every time we gather as a group with the intention of learning from the spirit of breath, we all learn more than we could just doing it alone. So ultimately, breathwork is a community event because we're all breathing the same air, we're all breathing the same energy, and we're sharing it with one another as part of our life. Breathwork is just making this more conscious for us. And this afternoon, we are going to learn how this community extends way back into history. For thousands of years, we have been breathing and learning together from the spirit of breath. So we are going to learn some of the techniques that have been practiced by fellow human beings thousands of years in the past. And we're going to start with bringing our energies in together with some circular breathing. So I'm going to ask everyone to get comfortably seated with your spine relatively straight, but not rigid. And put your focus now on a ball of light energy at the base of your spine. This is your vital life force given to you with which to create and to spread your love in the world. And to begin with, we're going to create a space of safety around your body with your breath and your intention. As you inhale now, bring that ball of light energy up your back, past every vertebrae to the top of your head. And as you exhale, let it come down the front of your body back to the base of your spine. Continue this circle of breath now, slowly, gently, and lovingly inhaling up the back of your body, sending a light healing energy to every vertebrae, and exhaling down the front of your body, sending a light healing energy to every vital organ. You have been granted the power to create this cocoon or this temple of safety with your breath and your intention, anytime or anywhere you choose in your life. You also have been given the power to extend the safety that you create for yourself to others. So the next time you exhale, imagine your circle of breath going out in front of you, extending in front of you to include everyone on this call, no matter where we're living. Imagine that your breath now encircles us all. So again, as you exhale, the breath goes out in front of you and goes all the way around everyone that you're including. And as you inhale, you bring it back up your back to the top of your head. And let your circle now extend even further to include everyone in the MidEast area. And now finally extend your exhale to go all the way around to the other side of the world, opposite from where you are now. And on the inhale, bring your breath from the other side of the world all the way around until it comes up your back, encircling the entire planet. Imagine spreading love and peace with every breath, like a rolling tidal wave around the planet, blessing everyone and everything with your breath and your intention. Do this several times now. Now bring your breath back home just to surround your body, up your back and down your front. Know that your loving intention is that powerful and making a difference to the vibratory quality of the planet and how compassionately all its inhabitants treat one another. And then bring yourself back to the video with a few deep and clearing breaths. The more we own the power of the breath that's given to us, the more we recognize that this is not just an interesting little fantasy, but that we genuinely do affect the vibratory level on the planet with our intention and our breath. So our work this afternoon is to increase our awareness of the origins of breathwork in ancient traditions and how they're blended with contemporary research and breakthroughs in the practice with therapeutic breathwork. Some of the best kept traditions of how to use the full power of the breath are from some of the Asian countries like China, India, Japan, and Tibet. We're going to touch into and experience some of the techniques developed in each of these countries. The role of breath in China. So China has two major religions or philosophies, Taoism and Buddhism. Despite their different origin, both philosophies have substantial knowledge of the power and potential of the breath. Taoism offers detailed explanations for the use of breath work as a spiritual tool, as well as practical methods for maintaining physical and mental well-being. As part of my work, I continue to learn and study many different traditions. Last weekend, I was in a 3-day Taoism workshop that was very intense. We were learning to open the energy channels throughout our body. And this involved even changing the structure of how our body is held on the inside with the fascial tissues. This is very intense work because we tend to get into holding patterns in our life and consider that very natural and normal. So to change these internal patterns takes very precise and dedicated work. Now, everyone here is not going to take intense Taoist workshop, I understand, but hopefully I can transmit some of what is learned for you to incorporate in your breath work. Taoism was first developed during Emperor Huang Ti's rule around 2700 BC. The maintenance of good mental and physical health was regarded as a part of spiritual development, not something separate. So in order to achieve this, a range of breathing exercises was developed. Chinese monks, too, have always used breath to reach higher states of consciousness. According to Taoism, increased awareness of our inner world is achieved simply by observing how the air we breathe mixes with the world outside. Through observing how the air and the body move in harmony with the breathing rhythm, we can learn how our thoughts and emotions influence us and how we interact with the world around us, both on the material and the esoteric level. This led to the development of a range of very precise breathing exercises. Some estimate the number of different methods to be around 3,000, while others say it's closer to 10,000 different techniques developed. Collectively, they are known as Qigong. Qi is the Chinese name for life energy. This concept lacks a counterpart translation in the West. Gong in Qigong refers to the power to achieve an effect through repeated exercises. Literally, Qigong can be translated as energy cultivation. These are known as methods of eliminating illness and prolonging life. Breathing is divided into 3 different forms. The most common is the balanced breathing pattern, where the inhale has the same length as the exhale. Now, this is our common breathing pattern, regardless of how much or how little we breathe. Having a balance is the most important. It's automatic and unconscious for suitable everyday situations, but we must practice to achieve that. The second breathing pattern is the cleansing breath, with an emphasis on the exhale. A spontaneous expression is sighing, which is initiated by stagnation or tension in the body. By the exhale, we can relax and rid the body of stagnant energy and carbon dioxide. The third breathing pattern is the energizing breath, where the inhale is greater than the exhale. A spontaneous expression of this is yawning, which brings more energy into the tired or inactive body. Master Lu Du said, even if man lives in the energy field, the vital breath, he does not see the energy, just as fish lives in the water, but does not see the water. Man dies when he has no vital breath, just as the fish perishes when deprived of water. The body. The Taoists put much attention on the body posture in terms of maintaining vital life energy. By training the body to sit, stand, and move, internal circulation is improved. This is an important factor in the absorption of the oxygen that the breath introduces. It's important not to cut off the circulation when standing or walking. And part of Qigong is aimed at learning how to stand and to move in ways that maximize the flow of energy. The basic principles for standing start with the position of the pelvis. In order to keep the pelvis in the right place, the knees need to be relaxed. To unlock the knees, the feet must be in the right place. To say it simply, generally, our feet, when we walk or when we stand, should be parallel and pointed forward, not splayed to the side. The pelvis needs to be in a neutral position, not locked forward or locked back. The same applies for the back and the head that need to be aligned in order to maintain the correct position and openness throughout the body. If the head is held correctly, the shoulders will relax, and so the rest of the body. Again, to put this simply, imagine your spine coming up through the top of your head, and there being a rope or a string that holds your spine up from the top of your head. Now, this is not in the center of your head, which is your crown chakra. This is what's called the martial chakra, which is that which comes if the spine went directly through the top of your head. So it's a little behind the crown chakra. So if you imagine this right now being held up by a rope coming right out of your spine, you'll notice that your chin comes down a little bit. You're not crooking your neck back. If your chin comes down a little bit, your jaw relaxes. The principle is to utilize the skeleton to maintain the body upright so that the muscles can relax, The fascia can relax and allow a full circulation throughout the body. I used to describe this in my bioenergetic classes as though if you had a large egg made out of lead, a huge lead egg, and it were perfectly balanced, you could hold it up with one finger. You could hold it with one finger when it's perfectly balanced. If you start to tilt the egg, the more the egg is out of alignment, the more muscle pressure you have to use to hold it up. So our body can go out of alignment and being held by various traumas. So our pelvis is held a certain way, our shoulders are held a certain way, our head is held a certain way. And when each of these are out of alignment, we have to exert more and more energy just to stand up. So what we're doing as breath workers is we're helping people find those parts of their body that are frozen, that are held, or that are tense. And as we help them release each of these parts of their body, so is their life a lot easier. Literally, they are expending a lot less energy just to be, just to stand or sit up. And most of this is out of our consciousness because our holding patterns become so familiar, we're not aware of them. So you could ask me how I'm feeling, and I could be like, oh, I'm feeling great. I'm very fine today, thank you. And so I do a breath work session, and you help me release my shoulders, and it's like, oh, I didn't realize I could feel like this. This is wonderful. So when we're able to breathe through our whole body, maintaining our verticality, to see, from head to foot, we're aligning ourselves with the natural flow of energy connecting heaven to earth. So let's experiment with a little exercise with this right now. I'm going to ask you to sit or to stand. You can do this either standing or sitting, and just take a moment and become aware of your posture and your breathing. The exercise is how to open the solar plexus. This is an exercise in becoming aware of your subtle energy. So put your hands, first of all, on the area just below your navel. Just put your hands on your stomach area just below your navel. Visualize the energy stored inside that center. This is one of the three major energy centers in our body, just below the navel. It's called the lower Tantien. So we're starting at the lower Tantien, which is 2 fingers widths below the navel. So feel how it expands when you inhale and decreases as you exhale. Breathe easily and notice how your awareness can get deeply into the tissues around your navel area. Now, when you've been breathing with total concentration for a few breaths, start letting the energy grow when you inhale so that it gets larger and reaches the solar plexus. Feel how the solar plexus and the area around the navel contract when you exhale and expand when you inhale. Now relax and feel the body's inner reaction when this whole area from your navel to your solar plexus is breathing together. When you do this conscious breathing, your breathing will automatically slow down. Feel the fullness of your breath. Easily and gently. Now move your hands to the solar plexus, just below your rib cage. Now bend forward slightly and notice how your breathing changes. Now repeat this a few times. Straighten up and notice your breathing, and then bend forward and notice your breathing. Now return to an upright position and focus your concentration on the solar plexus. And notice how the area expands and contracts with the breathing. Okay, and come back to the video now. But remember in your body the difference in how you're breathing when you're slouched over or when you're straight. I was totally amazed at how ineffectively I was breathing when I was slouched over like that. Get the connection between the solar plexus and the dantian. And as you go further, you recognize that connection is crimped when you're not in an upright position.
When I relaxed, it was very, very nice, much relaxing and refreshing. And it was so stressful, slouching forwards.
So I think I am teaching this class for myself as much as anyone, because I notice myself doing that a lot when I'm at the computer.
We all do it, I think, Jim.
Yeah.